Hello and welcome to NTA Panorama, reaching you live from Abuja. I am Ifoma Ojinta. And we begin. A 50 billion naira economic expansion fund has been approved by the federal government aimed at boosting the nation's economy for sustainable future. The scheme, titled From Pandemic to Prosperity, is part of Nigeria's Economic Sustainability Plan. The Chief Executive Officer, Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Segun Awolowo, disclosed this to newsmen after briefing President Muhammadu Buhari on the implementation of the Council's Economic Expansion Scheme. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
Mr. President, in one of his speeches, had said that, look, Nigeria must begin to behave as if we do not have oil. That single statement became our mantra at NEPC to develop the Zero Oil Plan, which is an integral part of the national economy.
During the meeting held behind closed doors, Mr. Segun Awolowo told President Muhammadu Buhari that the Zero Oil Plan has received enormous support and buy-in, with a high-powered committee on export already set up by the National Economic Council to drive it.
The Zero Oil Plan has postulated for the country 22 sectors where we think we can make enough foreign exchange revenue to rival oil. We need to scale up, and that is what I came to tell Mr. President, that we really need to scale up. In all these sectors, we're positioning ourselves to take advantage of great potentials, particularly in the services sector, which is a $1 trillion sector. We need to get Nigeria involved. In the short and medium term, we're looking at the next 10 years, where we can now get to $30 billion in terms of non-oil export, and then take it from there.
The economic expansion program, he explained, will go a long way in reducing joblessness in the country, and the council is prepared to do whatever it takes towards ensuring that the economic expansion fund gets to deserving exporting companies in Nigeria.
He was very delighted, and he congratulated me, particularly for my persistence in driving this, and I was pleased that he was taking notice of that, and he has promised to continue to support. Indeed, the Chief of Staff was also there, and many things will follow.
Mr. Awolowo used the opportunity to congratulate President Muhammadu Buhari for Nigeria's swift recovery from recession, which he attributed to the leadership he provided towards building a resilient economy that can absorb global shocks. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has formally engaged Governor Dapo Abiodun of Ogun State over the recent violent attack on herders in parts of the state. Governor Abiodun told journalists after the meeting that he was in the State House to present what he called the true account of the situation. Again, State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the report.
Meeting President Muhammadu Buhari for the first time this year, Governor Dapo Abiodun gave him detailed account of the unfortunate development. He said the attack on the Fulani herders in Yewa North local government area of the state must have been perpetrated by bandits from the neighboring Benin Republic.
And it appears as if the missing people must be in their custody. Up until now, all efforts to find these missing people have been in vain. I must say that the Fulanis have lived with us in Ogun State for hundreds of years peacefully. The Seriki Fulani from that particular corridor speaks Yoruba better than I do. Part of the problem we realize that we have is that of ethnic profiling. Criminals are criminals. Our people have had a problem with drawing a line between peaceful Fulani people who are traditionally herdsmen and bandits who are castle rustlers. Our media has not particularly helped us. It beats me why anyone would be in such a hurry to spread fake news. We don't have any other country but Nigeria. There must be stiff penalties for people that are propagating fake news, because fake news is threatening the unity of this country.
He described as gladdening that at the moment the Gateway State is enjoying relative peace and commended his northern colleagues for joining him at a stakeholders meeting and genuinely supported his efforts at finding lasting solutions.
I was so touched by their show and display of brotherhood. They spoke to the very core, individually and collectively, to everybody that was at that stakeholders meeting. It was an opportunity for everyone to tell us what was on their mind and what had truly transpired. Right now we're enjoying relative peace. We intend to sustain that peace, and I believe that if the right steps are taken, we can manage the situation and we can live together as brothers and sisters as we've always lived for so many years. The president was very impressed with how we've dealt with the matter. He particularly commented that the steps we've taken are steps that he has always recommended, that we must have a joint stakeholders committee that has farmers, herders, traditional rulers, and government, and that this committee should meet like once a month.
The governor presented documentary evidence on the recent happenings in the state to the president.
I will study.
From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Niger State's Governor Abubakar Sani Bello has attributed lack of adequate intelligence gathering as one of the major causes of degeneration of insecurity in some parts of the country. The governor, who said this during a press briefing, however, reassured that the students and all others in captivity will be rescued unharmed. Husseina Musa has the details.
Governor Abubakar Sani Bello says government is interfacing with relevant stakeholders to ensure the safe return of the students and other abductees.
Almost right now, make sure the never home safe. That's exactly what we're going to do.
He notes that movement of herders from one place to another is no longer viable because most of the cattle routes have been converted to farms as a result of the growing population. Hence, the need to include herders in government policies and programs.
The village head, the ward head, should be able to know people within their domain. They should be able to alert us when they see suspected people within their domain.
The governor disclosed that government is proposing to dialogue with all Fulanis across the state. He was, however, quick to add that efforts are on for the construction of perimeter fencing in all public boarding schools across the state. Emena Husseina Musa, NTA News.
Beautiful sceneries often serve as a blessing, but the case of Kagara in Rafi local government area of Niger State comes with a bitter pill to swallow. Abdullahi Muhammad took a drive through the town and filed this report.
What ushers you into the town of Kagara is a majestic imposition of rocks and splendor of landscape that makes the town a beauty to behold. In the heart of the small town, a bustling scenario that gives every Nigerian an ample opportunity to live and pursue their endeavors without any form of prejudice.
I'm staying in Kagara for almost more than 14 years now, and I enjoy this Kagara, and the Kagara is good, a good place to live.
Even though you are not come from Kagara, despite that you are in Kagara, we are all meet off together as a one.
But this natural beauty that makes up the geography of the town has now become a haven for bandits who use the terrain to their advantage, taking citizens hostage for ransom. The swift move by the government at the center and the state to put a nail in the coffin of the bandits gives hope to many.
Like last week, in fact, the way I'm saying things, I was even seriously afraid. But since the day before yesterday, my mind have put in rest. Because the way I'm seeing the security personnel that they are working, the way they are entering bush, I was seriously, I appreciate it.
The sun bids farewell for the day by one of the beautiful rocks that dots the landscape of the town of Kagara. What this gives is a ray of hope that permeates the minds of the citizens.
It took me only 5 minutes to transit through Kagara.
And within that 5 minutes that I spent going through this town that has been in the news recently, is that I met people that are committed to the project of One Nigeria. In Kagara, Rafi local government area of Niger State, Abdullah Mohammed, NTA News.
In the meantime, the PDP Reconciliation Committee on mission to Niger State has visited Governor Sani Bello to commiserate with him on the abduction of Kagara students. The meeting talks about need to unite forces to confront issues of banditry and terrorism head-on.
This is a meeting looking at the quickest way to resolve rising waves of banditry and terrorism in the country. The head of the National Reconciliation Team of the PDP, former Senate President Bukola Saraki, said the issue is beyond party lines, but the future of the country.
This matter is a national problem. It should not be just left to the government. Everybody, both opposition, we should all come hands together and give support. But government must take leave and bring all of us. All over the world, we have this kind of challenges. It's only through discussion, cooperation, and collaboration. As I said inside, that when people are kidnapped, they don't ask them whether they're APC or they're PDP. They're Nigerians, and as such, we must have a national approach to the problem. We're all ready and willing to contribute our role, but a lot of things need to be done different. We must bring in technology, we must improve intelligence, we must also converse.
Both Bukola Saraki and Abubakar Sani Bello of Niger State agreed that lasting peace in the country requires synergy on a large scale and the building of capacities of security agencies and communities.
And also we shared some experience with them, which is not anything out of the usual. But I think the main point here is they also are concerned at the security situation in the country, not just what happened recently. And something needs to be done immediately to address these issues.
Governor Sani Bello of Niger State hinted that they are optimistic that abducted school children from Kagara may be back as soon as Saturday. In Mina, Niger State, Mohammed Hamis Rogo, NTA News.
And away from Kagara, the federal government is set to assist the victims of the recent crisis in Shasha community in Ibadan soon. Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dari, gave this assurance when he visited Shasha in Akinyele local government area of Oyo State. Correspondent Ayomiku Ajibola completes the report.
Minister, who was on the spot assessment to Shasha in Ibadan to assess the level of destruction at the scene of the clash between two ethnic groups, appealed to residents of the community to eschew the path of anarchy and give peace a chance.
What is most important now is to bring help and relief, because people can no longer come to the market. The little revenue they make every day, income, is completely wiped out. So government needs to get help to them. The federal government will send help to this place.
While condemning the violence that led to loss of lives and property, the minister said every Nigerian has a constitutional right to live anywhere in the country under the law. He expressed the determination and commitment of President Muhammadu Buhari towards ensuring that peace reign in all parts of the country, and promised that as a minister from Oyo State, he will continue to do all within his power towards realizing sustainable peace and progress in the Peseta state. Both the Bale and Seriki Shasha commended the intervention of the federal and state governments. In Ibadan, Ayomiku Ajibola, NTA News.
We now pause to take some messages. Panorama continues shortly. Do stay with us.
For now, the best and most efficient way to avoid getting infected is through regular hygienic and sanitary practices, as well as social distancing. As individuals, we remain the greatest weapon to fight this pandemic. By washing our hands regularly with clean water and soap, disinfecting frequently used surfaces and areas, coughing into a tissue or elbow, and strictly adhering to infection prevention control measures in health facilities, we can contain this virus.
Coronavirus is real. Steps to avoid this pandemic. Wash your hands regularly or sanitize your hands. Keep social and physical distancing. Avoid crowded places. Stay at home unless absolutely necessary. Don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth if your hands are not clean. Avoid the spread of coronavirus. Coronavirus is real.
For an update on COVID-19 now, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control has announced 662 new cases of COVID-19 as at 19th of February 2021. Lagos has 167, FCT 116, Ogun 45, Kano 44, Akwa Ibom 35, Edo 34, Rivers 27, Kaduna and Osun 23 cases each, and Kwara 22. Taraba has 22, Oyo 20, Ondo 19, Plateau 14, Abia and Imo 11 cases each, and Nasarawa 7. Others are Niger 6, Bayelsa and Delta 5 cases each, Enugu 3, Ekiti 2, and Jigawa 1. In all, a total of 150,908 confirmed cases were recorded, out of which 127,500 were discharged and 1,813 deaths recorded. More chieftains of the All Progressives Congress are revalidating their membership in the ongoing exercise, just as new members are trooping to join the party. Gofan Shaji compiled this report on the registration in some states.
Kano Yunusa Hassan Barao reports that Majority Leader House of Representatives Al-Hassan Dodogua revalidated his membership at his word, where he urged the people to continue to support the party and ensure its victory at all levels in 2023 and beyond, for them to enjoy more dividends of democracy.
This time around, we are establishing an online ABC. We are establishing and networking a system that will allow us, by statistics, to be able to determine the strength and the number of our population right at the polling unit.
Other members and officials at both state and federal levels also revalidated their membership at their wards.
The president has said that this is an opportunity for young people to take ownership of the party at the ground level.
To come out and mass, to show their happiness, to show their willingness to continue to support our government.
And from Gusau, Haliru Muhammad Umar reports that the first civilian governor of the state, Senator Ahmad Sani Rufai, has revalidated his membership after the controversy that trailed his participation in the exercise.
And I want to express my gratitude and thanks to Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief, who has stood by the APC and made sure that everything has gone right.
In Jalingo, Adamu Haruna Adams captured more people joining the progressive strain in Taraba, among whom are prominent religious leaders.
So I am looking at 2023, that it will be the year that God will bring a change.
So party that can fight for a right of a common man is a party that Christians are supposed to be there.
In Abuja, Gufan Shaji, NTA News.
Operatives of the Abuja Zonal Office of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, have uncovered another underworld academy for the grooming of internet fraudsters. The academy, located in Arab contractors area of Mpape Hills, a suburb of Abuja, was discovered when operatives acting on intelligence stormed the base on Thursday, February 18th, and arrested 27 internet fraud suspects. The coordinator of the academy is said to be a 30-year-old Emmanuel Clement, and his students are mostly young school leavers, ladies inclusive, within the age range of 18 and 25 years. Items recovered from the suspects include a Toyota Venza car, 30 mobile phones, and 1 laptop. In a tweet, the EFCC said the suspects will be charged to court as soon as investigation is concluded. Let's now join Bade Adeleye on happenings in the sports world.
Time to take a look at some trending stories in the world of sports. I am Bade Adeleye. Nigeria's senior men's basketball team, the Tigers, wrapped up their 2021 AfroBasket qualifiers on Friday with a 76-56 points win over Mali. The result means the 2015 AfroBasket champions finished the qualifiers unbeaten, winning 6.